Family, good evening and welcome to the show.
Yippee whippy.
As always, Bobby, your host, welcome. We've got Aaron, Corey, and Todd. We got the whole crew for you tonight. Should be a wonderful show. For those of you that are just joining us or for the first time listening, we are on all active platforms. We are on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, Podbean, you name it, we're on it.
Pornhub.
And soon coming OnlyFans. We're still waiting on Todd to get the credentials cleared. So
Feet Finder.
That's a lot of pressure. That's a lot of pressure for me being the guy that's anchoring this OnlyFans. I gotta really get my act together here.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I would say you're probably the most swole out of the four of us. So I mean, it's kind of all on you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm the most swollen.
Time to be July. For sure.
Yeah. I could push my tits together and maybe get some money out of that. I don't know if that does anything for anybody.
Should we do like a Rally Tal like sports calendar or like a Rally Tal calendar, or we just get real seductive? I mean, there's four of us. There's 12 months, so that's 3 picks each. I mean, we could probably make something work.
Dude, here's the thing. I got a 12-inch baseball glove that's about 10 and a half inches.
Oh wow! I'm glad you followed that up.
It'll be perfect.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah. It's all about perception. You guys have seen The Longest Yard with Goldberg, right?
Sounds like an October.
I'm like reverse Goldberg. It's all show, no go.
I know you were saying that to like quote that part, but I really wish you were like, you know what I'm talking about, the movie, The Longest Yard. Goldberg's in it.
That's hilarious. All right, well, we got a good one for you tonight. We're going to recap last week's NFL shenanigans and then obviously get into our picks this week. But let's go ahead and give flowers to not only one but 2 people that deserve them. Todd, 5-1 last week.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
And the second best record, which was also tied with you, belongs to the chat. That also belongs to Pops. 5-1.
Yeah, boy, Charlie.
It ain't me.
Did we both miss on the Packers?
You both missed on the Packers.
I'm okay with that.
Everything else was a clean sweep. Coming in second place was nobody else on this panel. It was both belonged to chat. Tez and Josh, 4-2.
I put all my
they missed on the Packers and the Buccaneers. And then you have me and Corey, who missed on the Browns, the Packers. I'm sorry, the Texans, the Packers, and then we split. So Corey had the Browns, Cowboys, and Eagles. I had the Browns, Dolphins, and Cowboys. I took the Bucks. So obviously, both of us were 3-6, and Aaron came in at a abysmal 1-5. Not
so
your best
I thought you guys are gonna forgive me. I thought we were picking the losers.
Yeah.
So like,
well, in that case, you went 5-1. You dominated.
That's on me, and I'm gonna get better.
Here's the thing. My bad.
That's on me. You know what though? I don't really. We put all our eggs in the regular season basket. I'm basically like my favorite team, the Browns, and we're like, fuck the playoffs.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah. Fuck the lemons and ale. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess I kind of want to
Weather
ask this. I
outside
just want to
is
kind of
weather.
just throw this out there to you guys. Let's start with Corey. From last week, what was not only your biggest surprise, but like what did you just not expect from the games and how they transpired over the wild card playoffs?
I think it has to be how bad the Cowboys defense was. I think that was just like,
That's a good.
Yeah.
like I'll start it off by giving flowers where they're due. Everybody here knows how I feel about Jordan Love. Jordan Love, nothing for me to sit here and critique about what he did. I don't want to take anything away from him because obviously statistically that game was phenomenal. The one thing I'll say is a lot of wide open throws. That's like the one caveat that I think anyone that actually watched that game didn't.
What up, Tez?
the Twitter stats and stuff. They're like the little graphics. Like Jordan Love had a perfect passer rating. Like there are a lot of throws as well to where I was just like, he was wide open and he had to make that catch. But also, why is he that wide open? That was so like insane to me as to how bad or how poorly prepared were the Cowboys defense for the Packers offense. So hats off to Jordan Love. Hats off to Matt LaFleur. I mean,
Aaron Jones too.
Aaron Jones, dude.
Aaron Jones, his address is basically in Dallas, right?
Yeah, he gets his mail delivered to AT&T Stadium. It's fantastic. He had a great, phenomenal game. Like he's awesome. Aaron Jones is awesome. Their offense was amazing.
Corey, I do want to pause you for just a second, and I do want to give kudos to Aaron. Aaron dropped this in the group chat earlier, and just because he went 1-5 in his picks doesn't mean he went 0 for 5 on Sunday and Monday. This man went 5 for 5 on the over and unders in each game. So I do want to give you your flowers, Aaron. You did a nice job.
It was all 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, 6 for 6.
Yeah, I did the 6 of all of the over unders and hit all of them for a nice 4,400 bet.
Attaboy.
I was dialed in on the over under. I didn't know idea it was going to win.
You just absolutely just whiffed on
Put all your cocks in one basket. I see.
I was trying to spread it around in case I was really bad in this.
How many cocks do you have?
All right, Corey, continue.
No, so again, don't want to take anything away from him by any means. I'm not. Like Jordan Love didn't have to go win that game, is what that was a very easy game for him. Like there are a lot of wide open throws. They schemed open wide receivers consistently, but you got to make the throws, right? You have to make the throws. You have to make the reads. He did all of those things, right? He did everything that he needed to do to take advantage of the Cowboys, of everything they were giving him, and they were giving him a lot. We'll get into the contest that he's got coming up this weekend. It's going to be presumably a lot harder. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I guess the other thing that I would say is that I told you so on Mike McDaniel and Nick Sirianni. That's the only thing I have to say about those fucking fraudulent head coaches.
I've seen a lot of things, this week regarding both of those guys. I've seen a lot of footage on Cam Newton, saying that Jalen Hurts and, these other quarterbacks had lost some big games being game managers, and he took a lot of shit for it earlier in the season, and now we're seeing it come to fruition.
Say that. So what does he mean by that? He thinks Jalen Hurts is a game manager?
Correct.
Or that he is being schemed to play like a game manager.
So
he called Dak, Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, Baker May. I mean, he put a list of.
He put a lot of them on blast for being game managers and not like game changers.
Yeah,
I didn't see that, Tez.
That was like 4 or 5 weeks ago. He said that.
No, Tez came with a comment. The Cowboys announced they are keeping Mike McCarthy. That happened at around 6:30 this evening.
Yeah, last year was contract, fellas. Last year the contract.
Here's a question I want to ask you guys, and I know that a lot of us here are not big Mike McCarthy fans, but how much of it is Mike? Because Mike McCarthy has a Super Bowl. How much of it is playing for Jerry Jones and his aura that comes through versus like being a coach? Because like when you come through and you take the position as the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, there's already an expectation there that it is Super Bowl or bust. And when you have Jerry Jones breathing down your neck and basically controlling every decision, how much pressure does that add? And what is the how does that look? What are your guys' thoughts on that?
So before I take a stab at this question, Ariel, thank you for your super kind words, man. We appreciate you tuning in. Always, throwing some comments in on the chat. Make sure you're sharing with all your friends down in Florida that there's 4 Midwest guys with white guys with beards that talk football every Wednesday night. It's not enough of that in the world. It's pretty uncommon. It's pretty uncommon. But just know that we're out here for you.
Sorry, before you get going, Todd, I just basically my main question is Is Jerry Jones the problem? And if he is, how do they rectify it?
So I think from a perspective of like long-term decision making, it was
quite honestly is the only one of the better solutions out there.
Yeah, Squid Game, Jerry Jones.
Bye, Felicia. Move on.
But yeah, so Jerry Jones is basically the acting general manager, right? So I think you can place some blame on like 5-year plan decision making on him, but at the end of the day, that game offensively, defensively, however you want to look at it, at least specifically in this instance against Green Bay, there was no preparation for that game, or it felt like whatever they prepared for, it wasn't executed properly. I watched the Cowboys run a lot of zone defense against the Packers, and if you watch the Cowboys at all this year, they basically ran man coverage. I don't know, 23 of 24 hours of the day. And then all of a sudden they get into this game against Green Bay, and Aaron Jones runs it down their throat. And all of a sudden they're in like a prevent defense, a prevent or like a cover zero. And I'm like, what do you fucking do? Yeah. Like, what's the objective here? And then all it took was just play action to bust the zone open. And when you take a defense that you've run all year and then you say, hey, we're going to flip the script, these guys just weren't prepared for it. I think that's a part of it. I also just think that maybe Mike McCarthy is just not a great coach in general, right? Like I think that there's, let me rephrase that. He's not a good postseason coach. Now I know he has a Super Bowl under his belt, right? That's the argument that you can make if you're historically a Packers fan or whatever. But it just feels like we're talking about the Cowboys blundering in the playoffs again. Every year we talk about it. And it doesn't really, maybe you could say
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's funny. But maybe you could say it doesn't matter who the head coach is because Jason Garrett did it, Wade Phillips did it, right? Like it's been happening for 2 decades at this point. But I don't know if you guys agree with me or not, but I thought that if there was going to be a Cowboys team, this year would have been a year where they at least get to close enough to the championship round in the NFC. I thought. Green Bay's kind of they're in development, right? And they made them look like that they're the best team in the NFC. So I think you could place some blame on Jerry Jones in terms of long-term development, but really at the end of the day, it just comes down to on the field execution.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys have any other thoughts on this, Corey, Aaron?
It's not like the Cowboys have drafted poorly. You know what I mean? Like they've actually drafted really well. So to say that, when we're talking about him as a GM, I think more what Bobby you're getting at is just like the aura and the pressure that comes with it. But like, in the same sense that, you know what you sign up for when you play football and the injuries are a part of the game. The same thing goes with being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys. Same thing goes with being the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Same thing goes with, being the closer of the Yankees or, the ace on the Dodgers. Like it just comes with the territory. Typically there is a compensation package that adequately takes care of you. So zero sympathy for anyone being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys because of their big bad boss. But I think, I mean, like to say Jerry Jones is out of touch, I'm not sure. Like, I don't know that he's like, he's definitely not as bad as like Mark Davis. Look at the Cowboys and look at the Raiders, right? Like, these are drastically different organizations. Right. They're not that far off, are the Cowboys. This is just, and Tez came in the comments, said this is on the D coordinator. Not disagreeing with that statement whatsoever. However, who hired the D coordinator? Mike McCarthy did.
Right.
So I think, at the end of the day, the captain runs the ship, and if the ship is sinking, you look at the captain as what the fuck. So, Dan Quinn before this game is being called as one of, he's going to be a head coach next year again. Like he's going to get us another opportunity. And then he gets the fucking doors blown off him by Jordan Love and Matt LaFleur. So pretty wild the way that I think that absolutely has to be the biggest shock. Outside of that, not a shock, but big news. Somebody that, I think everybody feels did it the right way. Majority, if not all of his career, wholesome guy that we've gotten to really know through his podcasting and the documentary that's come out. One of the greatest to ever do it. Jason Kelsey hanging him up. Phenomenal career.
So
an absolute beast.
I also heard that just be he may not necessarily be hanging it up.
Yeah, he went on New Heights today and alluded to that
He basically said that it was it was like a passionate decision, but he may not exactly be hanging it up.
Oh, fuck off, dude.
Yeah, I still think
forget everything I just said. I can't stand this shit, dude. Aaron Rodgers did it. I gave him fucking shit for it. Whatever. What if they drag this out for the podcast? Good for you guys, but you're Pat McAfee now. Bye.
The best to ever do it. Oh,
do
hey,
it
did
for
you
click.
hear what happened earlier today?
Well, that's what we said about OJ too, dude.
Yeah.
Just saying. Wow, he's a really good running back. Did you hear what he did? Oh, fuck. So
the guy from the Hertz commercials?
That's hilarious. But no, I mean, if he does hang it up, which he should, I don't see any reason for him to come back. I mean,
he's already in Canton.
He's already a Hall of Famer, and
I can understand how hard it would be knowing you're never going to be younger. You know what I mean? And he's still playing at an elite level.
Yep.
So if him wanting to have the itch in 2 years, it's too late. So I empathize with it, but also understanding the fact that he has no reason to actually do it.
No, he's going to take some time. He's probably going to talk to some guys like Whitworth and stuff that are
I think the big thing would be if he could come back and play a season with his brother. I think that's the only reason he would come back.
There's no way.
I'm not saying that it would happen, but
there's not
a guy like him. There's nothing else left. There's nothing else left than for him to go play a season professionally with his brother. Other than that, he has literally checked every single box that can be checked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good.
So
top five center of all time.
Unless they wanted to both go back home.
Yeah, playing Cleveland.
They both went to the Browns and played for the Browns, which I don't think Aaron would hate. So
I'm fine with it. I'm not here's the other thing though too, is I'm not screaming for the hills bring the Kelseys home. That'd be chill.
Yeah, you don't need a center or a tight end.
Yeah.
You want to come on over though? That's chill. That's fine.
Yeah, bring some beers.
Dude, I'm just saying hypothetically that's the only reason that would happen. So, but no, I get it. Yeah, Corey, you're absolutely right. He's one of the best to ever do it. You look at that man's highlights, and that dude is just. He wasn't brought up to be a center, but once he got to the NFL, he was one of the best to ever do it. He pulls and makes blocks and continues to get off blocks and
no one really wants to be a center. As someone that was forced into that role, no one.
Yeah, it's you're not growing up as a child and you're watching Jason Kelsey. You're you know what? I want to be a center. I want to pull and just knock a linebacker off their fucking.
Well, I like being an offensive lineman, but I didn't like. You're at an automatic disadvantage at the center. You have something that you have to take care of prior to blocking.
Yeah.
I didn't mind that part. Full disclosure, but I think. The part, just don't fuck up this snap. You have to always be right on the snap count. Don't fuck up the snap, especially in shotgun. We ran a spread offense. 95% of all of my snaps were shotgun. And then you just have a ferocious nose guard over the top of you that you have to stop immediately.
Especially in high school. It's either the best wrestler or just a behemoth lined up across from you.
Yeah, you got to get rid of it and then get your hands up and be prepared for somebody that's 270 plus pounds coming right at your face.
Yeah, they're either a $175 and fast.
You just weren't good at it, bro. I'm sorry.
They moved me to
get good.
Fair enough.
All right,
I'd be the worst coach ever. I don't know. Dude, you got it.
Hey, brother, you just don't fucking got it. Sorry.
Just moved to volleyball, dude. I don't know.
All right. Well, before we get into next week, Aaron, were there any other things outside of the Cowboys getting blown up by the Packers that like shocked you last week?
Yeah, I mean, we kind of touched on a lot of. I mean, I would definitely say the first two, the two quarterbacks' first playoff starts for them to be the best two quarterbacks of the week, between
Very
Stroud
well.
and Love.
And against those defenses.
I was just going to say, and against the defenses that they played. I mean, I had said it last Wednesday, like, I would not be surprised if the Browns, like, obviously I picked them. I didn't think I was going to get this type of effort, but we've been saying it all year. Joe Flacco's been a turnover machine. The defense has basically allowed it. So that hasn't really bitten them in the ass. And quite frankly, we said throw the Texans game out from last time because it's not the Texans team that they're going to play this week. So obviously I still was rolling with the Browns because I thought they were playing. It's similar to me with like the Rams, where it's like give them a different matchup, and I think they're in this next round, potentially, depending on who it is that they would have gone up against. But then again, the effort that Cleveland showed last week, I don't know there were a lot of teams they're going to beat unless it just stayed Jacksonville. But, you know, it is what it is. The one thing I'll say, though, too, just because I know, frankly, this is kind of my last moment to talk about the Browns for this season. There was a very negative sentiment after, like, honestly, this season was a success for me, man. I'm not going to let that one game taint how I felt for the entire season, because I think they had no business being in that position in the first place, quite frankly, when you look at the IR report and, you know, what shape their roster was in. But, you know, they certainly turned into a pumpkin that first Saturday, unfortunately. And that is what it is. But all in all, I still thought it was a good season for them.
Absolutely. Todd, do you have anything to add? The surprises from Wild Card weekend?
I guess we could talk about the Bucs and the Eagles, but I'm not overly shocked that they got their cheeks clapped.
Yeah, I'm not either.
I love it.
I guess maybe the biggest surprise of that game would be that they were never. It was pretty much a no contest from the jump, right? Like, it never felt like the Eagles were even surmounting any momentum. It felt like it was in Tampa Bay's hands the entire game. And I think my favorite part of this weekend was all the shots that they just kept showing at Todd Bowles on the sideline, like a 3-quarter grin, because he's coached himself into another season, right, of being a head coach.
Yeah,
and
100%.
That's a sneaky bastard.
Yeah, and but think about it, right? I think we all took the under on the Bucs, right, to start the season. And it was like 5.5. They went 9-8.
I think it was 6. Yeah,
whatever.
6. It doesn't matter. It was all right in that area.
Winning record. They won a playoff game with a quarterback that had basically been tossed to the wayside, right? And really a very like old defense. Just very, very surprising that. But the Eagles are it's for a fan base. It's my favorite one for it to happen too. Because they're so inconsolable, and the fucking pieces of shit that threw popcorn on Sirianni coming off the field. That's your fucking coach.
Just garbage humans.
Yeah.
Just Philly fans are just
trash water. Yikes. If you've ever gone to even a Reds game where the Phillies come into town, they're just a nightmare. They're just an absolute night. I went to a game 5 years after Roy Halladay threw a no-hitter, and a drunk guy came up to me and like brought it up, and I'm just like, "Shut the fuck up, dude!" But it happened in 2013. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. I wanted to be like, "That guy died. It's your fault. He's died. He was flying out of Philadelphia. He wasn't."
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, they're just a trash fan base. Happy to see it happen to them.
All right. Well.
Not sorry if you're an Eagles fan, by the way. I'll fight you in the parking lot.
Just fun fact outside of football. The Yukon Huskies might do it again, boys and girls, because they're just fucking disgusting. And they just held the Creighton Blue Jays to checks notes 42 fucking points in a NCAA basketball game tonight.
I just saw that too because the UK game just ended.
That is bananas. Moving on. We'll get to basketball here after the Super Bowl wraps up, but Jesus.
John Hurley, big Bengals fan, by the way.
So. Yes, he is. Yeah, good guy.
Yeah.
Last game I want to touch on before we move on to this week's picks. Steelers, Bills.
Yeah, please, Bobby, lead us off.
So I know this game ended 31-17.
It did.
And man, this is a game where I went in with zero expectations.
And you quit it in the first quarter.
Literally zero expectations. And I didn't think that I was actually going to get wrapped up in this game.
Boy, did you.
But man, did I get wrapped up in this game with these guys hear about it. All three of these guys heard about it from me, and I got extremely passionate. Not even going to lie to you. It almost got it got disrespectful on my end. And I apologize to all three of you.
Not needed.
Football does crazy things to your psyche.
But I do want to lay some facts out there for those of you that did not watch this game
or in the text thread.
Or not involved in the text thread.
Real quick, because my favorite part was this. They're going back and forth. I set my phone down for, I swear to God, 3 to 4. Yes, that was exactly what popped up. There was, I was like 40 missed text messages. It was insane.
I'm a habitual quick text guy, like just text, like
I know. I do too.
I do finish, not send it. Well, not just that. Too. Like I do little messages, and so it just stacks.
I know what you mean. I
do that too. I do that too. But
even then, 5 minutes.
So there was a lot going on in this game. There's like 3 really big things that stood out to me. The first one was, most importantly, the Josh Allen fake slide.
That can't be your most important thing. The game they were already down by 14 when it happened.
But they were down 7 when that happened. It was 14-7 when that happened. And Josh Allen,
I thought they went down 21-0 to start the game. Was it?
Yeah.
Am I wrong about that?
No, you were absolutely wrong about that.
Okay. All right. That's
yeah,
fine.
it was 14-7.
Okay. See, I thought so too. I'm wrong.
It was 14-7, and then Mason Rudolph threw a pick, which we actually got a break. There was 2 turnovers, both of them which were fumbles. And then on that second fumble that was actually called a fumble.
No.
Just for the record, it did start 21-0.
Yeah.
It wasn't 21-0.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't.
Bobby. Yes, it was.
You guys scored a touchdown going into the half.
Yeah.
It was not 21-0.
I'm looking
at Robert.
I will stake my life on that.
Well, don't do that because you already had to lose your shirt. I don't want to have you lose your fucking head.
Don't. I just looked it up. I just looked it up. Yeah. It was 21-7 when that happened.
If the mixies were flowing during the game.
Okay, so it was 21-7, not 21-0.
No, it was 21-0, and then it was 21-7.
And then it was 21-7.
Yeah.
So it was 14-0, and then Josh Allen ran a 62-yard touchdown, which was then followed by a Tyler Bass extra point.
That doesn't. I do not remember that.
We know.
Yeah, we're established.
Irrelevant.
The Niner gang is in the chat, ladies and gentlemen.
What's up, Niner gang? How you doing?
I do not remember that. I could have sworn that we had points on the board prior. Like, there's no way it was 21-0. I don't believe that.
That's fine.
I don't think that happened.
That's fine. You don't have to believe it.
But
that is irrelevant.
Birds aren't real either.
Okay, so there was like 3 big things that happened. So obviously you had the fake slide by Josh Allen. You had the block in the back that took out Joey Porter Jr.
What happened?
Your microphone just changed.
Mine?
Yeah, you sound like a principal giving the morning announcements.
Yeah.
And today will be vegetable medley and Bosco sticks.
Should we all rise to the pledge?
No. Did it switch to the microphone in your...
Bobby, you fix that mic. I'm going to go through some of these comments real quick.
I don't remember my mic switching, but all right, let me see if I can figure it out.
Something's going on. You're on mono instead of stereo or something. There's something going on over there. Let me go. We got a couple of really good comments coming in. Oh, there he is. Daddy's back.
Okay. All right. Got to figure it out. But yeah, so first and foremost, the Josh Allen fake slide. That should have been a personal foul, 15 yards. That happened at a crucial moment in the game where that would have been a 15-yard penalty, put them at 3rd and 19 instead of, obviously, a touchdown that happened for 60 yards. And then you had the block in the back that happened on Joey Porter Jr. that put him out of the game because he got blocked in the back and then concussed and took him out of the game. And then last but not least, what was the last point I was going to make? I forgot because I was busy fucking with this mic.
Was it the roughing the passer on Josh Allen?
Yes, it was the roughing the passer on Josh Allen. That happened because of the fake slide that Josh Allen did. And guess what? KZ was the person that was involved in both of those. He was involved in the first one that created the touchdown because he didn't want to go hit him and get put out of the game. And then he hesitated because Josh Allen fake slid and then ran for 60 yards. And then when Josh Allen did it again, he lit him up. And guess what? He got flagged for it.
I thought the roughing was bullshit.
Both of the roughing and the fake slide were both bullshit.
Yeah, I
both
concur.
of them were bullshit.
Roughing the yes, 2 and 3. I'm with you on.
No, I was just gonna say two things can be true. The game was poorly officiated and definitely in the favor of the Bills, and the better team still won. I'm sorry.
Don't get me wrong. The better team still won that football game, but the worst team still had a chance to win that football game.
I agree. No, and I was going to talk about that when we eventually, preview the Bills-Chiefs game, because I'm not sold on the Bills as everybody else is.
No,
and because they're just a fucking chaos machine every game they play. They go up 21-0. Bob, I know you don't believe it. It's like Santa though for you. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
They were not up 21.
Well, they go up 21-0, and I cannot believe that the game was a lot closer than 31-17. That's for sure.
Well, the Bills did a really good job of buffaloing it up and almost gave the game right back to Pittsburgh. And I was gonna I was almost rooting for you. I was rooting for the Steelers. But I was like, please win this game. This would be the funniest fucking thing in the world if the Steelers came back and beat them after being down 21-0. So that would just be bananas when the Bills were up 21-0, and if the Steelers came back and won.
Please just open that whenever you have a second, Bob, in the private chat for us.
I sent it in the group chat. On our
okay.
Group.
Oh, you did? Oh, good.
Yeah.
It was 21. It's chill.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter though. Look, at the end of the day, I think all of us within our own fan regard would have reacted the same way that you did.
Oh, I agree. Right? No, I agree completely.
Right?
Oh, no doubt in my mind.
So I just want to make it as clear as I can, Bobby, for you that
okay, there was not a lot of time between 14-0 and 21-7. I just wanted that
you're talking about. I don't believe you.
Yeah. So the frustration is understood, right?
Yep.
But the fake slide thing, I think you could ask 100 people and you could probably get a 50-50 conversation. Yes, you can, dude. You can absolutely split that call.
Yeah.
I asked 6 people. I'll prove this to you. I asked 6 people at work. The 6 people I know that watch football. 3 said it was. 3 said it was. Okay, don't fucking care. Right. But you can't get super upset about it.
Yeah, you're just being Alex Jones at this point.
Yeah, dude, don't say you don't care. Like,
I don't believe
if this was against the Bengals, y'all be in the same seat than I am.
I just said that, dude.
Yes,
that's what I just said. I said if this was the Bengals in this situation, here's the thing though. If Mason Rudolph does that for a touchdown, we're not having this conversation with you about it. That's my point.
No,
because it happened.
The exact same conversation because I'm not going to like
Bobby's big integrity of the game, guys.
I have always been on the side of I don't care if the quarterback is out in the open. If they are putting themselves out there, you fuck them up. That has been my argument 10 days out of 10.
Bobby, I would be more upset about the roughing call on Josh Allen than the miss.
I'm more upset about that.
If you want to talk to me about because Josh Allen is allowed to do that, the defender should also be given an extra half second of leeway when he's standing upward. I'm completely fine with that.
Also the roughing, like he didn't even make contact with Josh Allen's head. So
yeah, they got quarterbacks want to run. To review that. You want to run, that's fine.
Like throw the flag and then review it. You know what I mean? and then just take it away if he didn't make contact with the head or neck area.
I made the same argument over group chat, but it was just blown out of proportion.
You also said that Steve Young and Michael Vick are more exciting when people can hit them, which is
correct.
That's false.
Why is that false?
Because Michael Vick's fun regardless. It's the point. Like, Michael Vick is just fun to watch. He would be fun today too.
If you do a quick YouTube search, there's like a 17-minute compilation of Michael Vick getting absolutely clobbered in the open field.
Absolutely.
It happened.
And that's my point exactly. It's like, if you're going to take that risk, you should be able to deal with the consequences.
Sure.
You can I think you can quarterbacks like that.
So here's my
But now you can't do that. And
okay.
Like, that's my point. And you guys are all jumping down my throat saying that this is something that we should be doing.
No, but think about it this way. If he hits him and they call a targeting penalty or something, it's 15 yards.
Correct.
They gave up a 62-yard touchdown. That's it. I would take if I'm a defender, I'm taking the 15 yards before I give up a touchdown. That's my perspective of it.
But
you could look at it
you guys
the
are the same people that said DeMar Casey, the guy that has been the Draymond Green of the NFL.
Dude, these are so different. We didn't say, first of all, he's a Draymond Green of the NFL.
You guys said that.
No.
Don't you even sit here and tell me you didn't.
Listen, we used your points about Draymond being a habitual offender and pointed to the fact that Casey is a habitual offender, which justified the suspension. That's what we said. That's what we said.
So basically you said that he's the Draymond Green of the NFL.
That is did you fucking limber up before that stretch? Jesus Christ, Bobby. Dude, that is
if you're going to make a comp, you're going to make, like, there's no stretch.
All right, then they're all the same.
Yeah,
everything's the same then.
I'm just saying.
According to, it's the same analogy.
Aaron made that stretch.
No, I just repeated. What I did was repeat all of your words.
Correct.
Right,
dude.
Correct.
But you made the same stretch that I did.
No.
You can't make the
I
same
walked
stretch
in your
and then
footsteps
backpedal.
that you stretched.
We got some really good comments in the chat right now.
Yeah.
All right, go over them, Corey.
All right, baby.
All right, dude.
All right. So, all right, we got to get to Tez here. Tez, loyal listener, been hanging around for a while. He has given us a great comment here. Tez, appreciate your patience while we battled that one out, and I hope you all enjoyed it. He says here, okay, this is my first and last rant of the season. Not sure about the NFL's rules and
lie
refs.
Detector rule? That was a lie.
Had the Rams not necessarily won a Super Bowl, I would be one super pissed off fan because of the no calls and the rules of the game. The horrible ass rules caused us to lose Higbee for most of the season next year. Doesn't make sense that you can't hit a quarterback in the legs while he's standing in the pocket, but you can hit a receiver who's running full speed, not looking at his legs. Doesn't make sense. And the blanket pass interference on Puka that they didn't call is a repeat no call that we've been seeing all season long. Something has to give with the bad calls and no calls. Okay, I'm done. Tez, great comment. First of all, it's pick your poison with the Higbee thing, right? Like, they want to eliminate headshots. This is what you get, type deal. The only type of thing that we're going to find in some middle ground is going to be perfect form tackling. Just attacking the midsection of players.
I guess in this stage of the game, what is perfect form tackling? Because you can't hit low, you can't hit high, you can't hit at the waist, you can't tackle their toes.
You can't hit at the waist. You can't hit at the waist. That's the only spot really now. Yeah, that's tackling. It. From the breast of the shoulder pads to your belly button is about the sweet spot now in tackling in the NFL.
I mean, that's kind of what we've always been taught.
But how hard is that?
When we were children.
It's very hard.
It's really hard. That's why people still get clobbered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not a rule. It wasn't a dirty play. It's just a play in football. Yeah, I could see it changing, much like the hip drop. I could definitely see it changing. Absolutely. I don't know how. I think if you asked players, they would all be like, yeah, hit me in the head rather than that.
rather than the legs.
Yeah, a concussion's 2 weeks, a torn ACL's 9 months.
Yeah.
Right?
A lot of game checks.
Monies are in the legs, unfortunately.
Yeah, absolutely. In regards to the the officiating of the Lions-Rams game, by the way, there was a missed call on the Rams. I'm having trouble. It was in the first half of the game. They didn't. I think it was a pass interference that they just didn't call.
Yeah, there was a neutral zone infraction that they missed.
That was it. Yeah. Thank you. So the Rams very clearly were the offender in a neutral zone infraction that they ended up calling a false start on the Lions. On Taylor Decker. It was very clearly neutral zone infraction. So I'm in a group chat with a couple of guys I used to work with. They're all Lions fans. We talk about all the games and stuff. And one of them was like, well, we need that fucking makeup call, yada, yada, yada. It was at the there was the pass interference call, but also that hit on Matthew Stafford is a roughing the passer. Like
for sure.
That was 1,000,000% roughing the passer. That should have been almost first and goal, if I'm not mistaken.
That was a high-low too, which is the biggest no-no of roughing the passers.
Matthew Stafford got obliterated, and it was incidental. But shoulder pad to the helmet of the quarterback, that's a fucking penalty. Like I'm sorry, and that should have absolutely. I'm almost certain it was first and goal, but I could be mistaken as to where they were out on the field. That was a huge turning point because what happened after that, gentlemen, if you're forgetting, the Rams ended up punting that football, which is crazy. Or was it a long field goal? I'm mixing the drives up, but no, huge fuck up by the NFL not calling the roughing the passer. I have no sympathy for you, Tez, on not getting the holding call. I'm sorry you stole a Super Bowl for me on a bullshit holding call, so you can fuck right off. I have no sympathy for you. None.
There does have to be a level of, listen, guys, this is part of it. We talk about this every week, right? The ref this, the ref that, the ref. This is part of the game, unfortunately, until it's not. And I'm frustrated about it every single week, but I'm finally getting to the point where I'm like, listen, guys, it happens to everybody. It happens against everybody. You get calls your way. You get calls against you. We just don't like to talk about the calls that go our way in the same way that we do the calls that aren't called on us, right? It's like a Yelp review. I'm only going to leave a review when it's bad, right?
Like, now, wow, what an excellent call, official.
Right, exactly. So you can't put yourself in that position. I know everyone's going to say that. The thing I feel bad about, and I'm so happy for Lions fans, right? Like that's something we haven't really talked about enough. But in my opinion, the Rams are not the better team than the Lions, but are better than some of the teams that have made it to the next round. This was the one to me that, like, I liked both of these teams. I would have liked to see them both advance to this next round if it was somehow possible, because I just want to watch the Rams play another football game.
Yeah. I mean, Matthew Stafford continued to demonstrate that he's a bitch, and also simultaneously the toughest dude on the planet. So he's the toughest dude on the planet, playing concussed and with like a fucked up hand. Like the dude is like tough as nails, like
and throwing rockets still.
Yeah, and just throwing darts, no look fucking passes, just being smooth with it. Loved it. Post-game press conference, hated it. You're a huge pussy. Hey, Matthew, how do you feel about the city of Detroit? Oh, you mean the one that I played for 12 fucking years? That when I went to the Super Bowl, the entire city was like, we're the Detroit Rams. Go, Matthew. We root you on, buddy. You're awesome. We love you, Matthew. What's your response to, hey, Matthew, how do you feel, or what are your feelings towards the city of Detroit, or how do you feel for the city of Detroit right now? I'm really happy for the players. Dude, get fucked. Take your fucking plastic wife back to fucking Los Angeles. Get out of the Motor City. Bye.
Did you see the thing where she's just like, the city of Detroit booed my kids?
Yeah, she redacted it.
Like, hey, lady. Okay, good. I was like, hey, lady, you brought your kids out in a playoff game in Detroit in Rams gear. Like, yeah.
You expected them to be polite?
Yeah. Why did the bear eat my kid after I covered it in honey? I don't know. I don't get it. Why would they do this?
Oh shit, that's funny.
Just you can't have it both ways.
Well, without further ado, boys, let's get into next week.
Yeah, baby.
All right, so we are blessed. We have 2 days of football this weekend.
Oh, thank goodness.
We got Saturday and Sunday. So
Wait,
first
are you
game on the
about
slate.
4 days of football, Aaron?
Yeah, honestly, it's too sad, dude. I got shit to do. Give me
watch
me
football.
3 days on 2 days, or 3 games on 2 days.
Okay, we have 2 days of football. We have 2 games on 2 days. Deal with it.
I love it. No, I love it this week.
Are you sure? You sure you love it?
I want more football, please.
You get the Senior Bowl in a couple weeks. Is that
Gonna be watching the
scratch that
USFL. Go Michigan Panthers.
Yeah.
All right, the first
I think it's
game
just
on-
the UFL now, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I just personally
Let's just keep interrupting Bobby.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep doing it. I just don't want to I want
But
to
I
watch
want
all
it.
the games, and I frankly just don't want to get divorced. You know what I mean? So it's give me 2 days of football.
Dude, the Lions being in the playoffs is fantastic for my marriage.
That's great.
Say.
Yeah. Bob, you had
Bob.
something? Were you gonna say something?
Yeah, did you have some, Bub?
You have
Bub.
something?
It's your turn. Mike's yours.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Just want to make sure that I was allowed to speak.
Dude, we all wanted to do it. All 3 of us wanted to do it.
Oh shit! All right. So first game on Saturday, we've got the Houston Texans headed into Baltimore to take on a division rival of all 3 of us,
Yeah, I was to say for us.
the
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens. We got C.J. Stroud taking on Lamar Jackson in the fucking Thunderdome.
Christ, dude, this is it in North or South.
Aaron,
You're
Texans
standing over there.
on the road in Baltimore. He got.
I think if there was one lesson I think we learned from week 1 that we haven't really talked about is I think we're just heading for a Ravens 49ers clash, guys.
No, God.
I really do.
Ugh.
And we see this all the time, right? The team that was off for the week somehow and they give the game up. The Ravens were kind of off for 2 weeks, when we really think about it with the Steelers in week 18. So Stroud played nothing short of phenomenal last week. I really don't think there can be enough to be said about it. I had said it when we were talking last week. He's a top 7 quarterback. He really is. He's already playing that way. He's right there in that second tier for me right now, just in what he's done this year. I'm still going to go with the Ravens here. The Ravens at home, I think they've just playing the best brand of football I've seen from them in a few years. And we can talk about how they've come up short in playoff years past. That's not really going to factor into this pick for me. They were handing the 49. I mean, towards the end of the year, they were just slapping teams across the face. Teams were like the 49ers, right? That wasn't even close to a game. I think Baltimore just kind of keeps it rolling here, and everyone should be relatively healthy.
Corey.
Let's see here. Looking up some statistics here. The answer is 1. Question: what is number of playoff wins for the Ravens since 2009?
Probably 1 or 2.
It's 1, I believe.
One in 2020, right? Against the Titans. Or against the Titans, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm sorry. That's since 2015 they've won 1 playoff game. Since 2015. That's
since 2015. Should they get punished for a bye though?
Crucified? Yeah. What?
Should they be punished for
a bye?
So for instance, when we talk about Bill Belichick all-time playoff wins, right? He just didn't play a lot of the first weeks. Their teams just are automatically starting in the second round. I feel like you should get some level of credit for getting the first overall seed.
Okay. 2018 lost in the wild card. 2019, yes, they won the divisional round, so they had the number 1 overall seed. They lost to the Titans in 2019. Their 1 win in that span was a wild card win against those same Titans in 2020. They lost the following year to the Bills. In 2022, they missed the playoffs in 21. In 2022, they got bounced by who did. So I think there is some proof in that pudding a little bit. Like we have to talk. I think we do have to talk about it. The fact that Lamar, it's not the Ravens necessarily. Like John Harbaugh has done a really good job of producing a winning team year after year. There's no denying that. The Harbaughs build good football teams. We can all acknowledge that fact statistically. Lamar Jackson just isn't good in the playoffs so far. This very, very, very small sample size I have, CJ Stroud is really good in the playoffs. No, I know that these are very different things. So I think these couple of weeks hurt them. I really do. I think the Texans are feeling really comfortable about themselves. They're going to feel just fine going on the road into Baltimore. I think they have no fear about going into Baltimore. Keep your head up when you're going from the bus to the hotel is all I'll say. But outside of that, man, I think the Texans are going to come in and take care of business. I'm taking the Texans.
Is that a Baltimore stray bullet, Jack?
Yeah, fuck Baltimore, dude. The whole city.
That's pretty rough. I don't know if you guys have watched The Wire or not, but it's
Texans on the road in Baltimore. Who you got?
Yeah. So who's won a more recent playoff game, Lamar Jackson or CJ Stroud? CJ Stroud. I'm picking the Texans. Let's fucking go.
They're my AFC team for sure.
Yeah. No, but in all seriousness, I was going to pick the Texans before we got into this conversation, and I think the primary factor is just that you're talking about the Ravens playing as good a football as anybody down the stretch. That Texans offense has been at the same caliber, if not a better caliber. And I think you watched them
get over them almost. I mean, they were 4th and 1 away from not being in the playoffs against that Colts team.
Sure, but they won.
I know, but like it wasn't like that game against the Browns was the best offense I've seen from them all year.
Don't we talk about how the divisional matchups, like you almost like throw statistics out a little bit, like not all the way, but you definitely like consider it a more close matchup regardless of record. Like records aren't as important. Like it's against the Colts. The Colts aren't even a playoff team, but
they lost to the Panthers this year. That was pretty weird.
Yeah. The Cowboys lost to the Cardinals.
I know. I'm just,
so like weird shit. It's the NFL, right?
Yeah.
Ted's comment, I wouldn't count the Texans playing that great in the cold. CJ Stroud went to Ohio State.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't think weather has anything to do with this matchup. I'm going to take the Ravens only because I want to split this. I want to split the difference between Todd and Corey and me and Aaron. That's the only reason I'm taking the Ravens.
Nothing to do with the game at all.
I want the Texans to win. If the Texans win and I pick wrong, then I am a very happy man. Because at the end of the day, like the Texans are the underdog here. I would love to see the Texans actually like move on to the championship round and potentially have a shot at a Super Bowl.
That'd be sick.
I would too. That'd be awesome.
It'd be great. It'd be great for the game of football for them to actually have an opportunity to, 20 plus years after the inception of the team to have a chance at winning a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Something that there's teams that have been here a lot longer than they have.
Don't need to talk about it.
Yeah, if you're outnumbered, that's 3/4 of the panel there, Bubba. So.
Actually, we've had chances.
I won't continue that line of argument, but y'all get my point. So, I'm going to take the Ravens here with the hope that the Texans come in and just absolutely slaughter them.
You sound like T-Pain right now.
Yeah, you got a little auto-tune going on.
I'm going to put you in a mansion somewhere in Wisconsin.
Let's talk about that Wisconsin. Those Wisconsin boys.
Speaking of Wisconsin, the next game, we've got the Green Bay Wisconsin Packers headed to the West Coast to take on the San Francisco 49ers.
Dude, what is going on with your mic right now?
I think he's having some technical difficulties.
Dude, I haven't done anything different.
I think it's your internet.
Yeah.
I haven't done anything.
Y'all hear me? Does it sound better now?
No, you're still
Just
still on it.
say I'm gonna buy you a drink.
I'm gonna buy you a drink.
Oh,
I'm gonna take you home with me.
I like it.
It's happening.
This
this is
podcast just
terrible.
got put to a new level.
This is terrible. Now I have auto tune and I hate it because I can't hear it and I don't know what's happening.
It just got better. It just got a little bit better.
Should I just stay right here? Not move?
It's not the microphone.
Just
not
Taylor Swift it. Write it on a piece of paper and just hold your pickup. You okay? I'm taking the 49ers here.
Yeah, I don't think we really have to spend a ton of time talking about
I mean, we did
this
this
game,
last
right?
week though, for what it's worth. We did this last week with the Packers and
We did.
the Dallas Cowboys.
And don't
Yeah,
forget,
let's
Aaron
see.
said, "Oh, we're all picking the same team. So shit's gonna go down." And it did.
Yep, and it did.
It did go down in that game.
Sure as hell went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, let's give the Packers some credit for moving on into this round.
I'd
I
love
think
for him to win.
I would too. Well, I don't know. I think I'm still rooting for the 49ers here. I'm sorry. I bold one here, guys. I'm sorry. I don't really like the Packers.
I hate the 49ers more.
I don't really care. I don't think about the 49ers. They're
You're
way
just
over
saying in
there.
general.
They're way
just
over
saying-
there.
Yeah.
I just don't like I don't really like Packers fans that much, if I'm being honest. I don't know how to put my finger on it. It's just, it doesn't matter. That has nothing to do with this game.
You just don't like Dan?
What's that? No,
Just
it's
like-
not that.
I'm just kidding.
No, there's this, I don't know, arrogance about him.
Yeah, but that also exists in San Francisco, 1,000,000%.
Oh, Yeah, they play in Santa Clara,
and they're
That's
not
like
even
50
real
minutes
football
away.
fans. If you're not in the Midwest,
Listen, if it's we're talking about the two, I don't really care about either team, really. The 49ers are the better team.
yeah.
They've been the class of the NFC all season long. McCaffrey, you could argue, is the MVP of the season.
I think he is.
Yeah, I would be totally fine with that. In fact, I hope that's the case. I also like the coach better in San Francisco better. And I think he's had his team playing better football. The Packers have had really big highs, but I don't think I can mistake the lows. And outside of that 3-game stretch of the 49ers this season, which happened in the early part of the season, what do we say? After the bye week, how much better the 49ers play, and that came to fruition.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Ravens game was a big, that's a question mark, and we'll put a pin in that. But I don't think
Cards
the
close
Packers.
to the chest for the Super Bowl, maybe.
Yeah, right. I got to go with the 49ers here. They're the better team. They are the much better team. But again, you guys, right, we said this last week.
What?
Corey.
Oh, I took the Niners, Bob.
Todd.
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners too.
Do it.
I mean, I already lost the regular season, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just
Blow it up.
blow it up. So I'm taking the Packers.
Set fire to the rain.
Yeah, come on, Adele.
I'm taking the Packers. I honestly
This
really like
podcast is brought to you by Jim Beam.
I really liked. Honestly, though, I really liked what I saw out of Jordan Love last week. I think Jordan Love
Hard
is
not to.
a viable quarterback in the NFL.
Here's the thing, though. If Green Bay somehow puts up 14 fast on San Fran, they're in trouble because we've seen it. When
That's the recipe.
San Fran, yeah,
Give me the
San Fran-
fucking Packers.
when San Fran was losing those games, it was turnovers. Let's just talk about the fucking Baltimore game. They got down 10, and he threw 4 interceptions.
Yeah, dude. What the
Right?
fuck was that?
Yeah. So I think that I think we've talked about it. I think the Mr. Irrelevant story kind of overshadowed that he was just playing in games where he was legitimately just managing time. That's it. That's what he was doing. And he was also getting fantastic field position pretty much every time he touched the ball. So It would be interesting if Green Bay grabs a couple quick scores like they did on Dallas to see what they do in that situation. Because I think it'll get hairy for San Francisco.
It most certainly would. Now, as far as this next game is concerned, I think this will be the best game of the week. I honestly think it will. You got Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road to Detroit, and you had an ESPN verified reporter ask Todd Bowles, "How are you going to deal with the weather in Detroit?"
That was so funny.
And the weather in Detroit is going to be crazy. But for those of us playing along, they play in a fucking dome.
Yeah, they do.
Just saying. Your regular average Joe knows that the fucking Lions play in a dome, and you're asking that question to a head coach that obviously knows the answer.
Maybe he's worried about travel logistics.
Yeah, walking from the bus to the hotel is what he's saying.
Maybe he's worried about.
Did you purchase the trip insurance?
Yeah. Did you get the confirmation email from Alliance about the insurance for this travel experience?
You have up until 2 weeks to accept.
Who knows? But God forbid, this game is going to be played indoors. The weather does not fucking matter. Todd Gottschall, Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the road to Detroit. Who you taking?
I'm taking the Lions, fellas. Ford Field is going to be just fucking rocking. I don't know if you guys caught the Twitter stat, but when the Rams had to call that timeout, the decibels inside Ford Field were that to an airplane engine in terms of sound.
That's awesome.
Just in general, that just if you're curious, it's real loud. It just means it's real loud. That's all that is. No, I think that they played a better team Sunday night than they're going to be playing next Sunday afternoon. That's my perspective of it. And I'm not discrediting what Tampa Bay has done this year. I mean, we just talked about it. They're the biggest surprise of this season in terms of they had a real low floor, and they've kind of pushed through the ceiling that I thought that they were capable of. I think that it's a little inflated because I think Philadelphia is just they played like absolute hot dog shit against Tampa Bay too. So I think and that score, I don't know how much you watched, but that score could have been a lot worse because they had 3 drops that should have been touchdowns in that first half too against Philadelphia. 2 by Mike Evans and 1 by Cade Otton. But yeah, I just think the Lions, you just keep cooking up the same recipe. If the gravy's good, don't fucking change the gravy recipe, fellas. That's the Lions. That should be the Lions' rule going into this
putting
game.
It on the biscuits.
That's right. Just get the ball down the field. Use that 2-headed monster in the backfield. I think I want to give Jahmyr Gibbs some flowers for his performance in that game against the Rams. He was the X factor for that offense in the first half, being able to create distance across the field and set up big plays that were made to Josh Reynolds and Amon-Ra St. Brown. So I think you just keep feeding the ball to those guys, and play action will come. And I assume that in a pressure situation, I think Lions will be able to apply a little bit more. Baker will be more pressured in this game, and I think you'll see him at least commit 1 turnover, right? That's my projection, is that the Lions will capitalize on a turnover. And also Tristan Wirfs is really good. I just want to say that too.
Yeah, he sure is.
I have a hard on for Tristan Wirfs watching him play football. I pay way more attention to him than I do the game when they're on offense. I can't help myself.
That's fair. Corey.
Go over to Todd's to fire up some Bucks tape.
Yeah, right.
Throw a dip in.
Play that Tavon Austin. Play that Tavon Austin mixtape behind it, baby.
You see that boy up front?
Hey, I was an offensive lineman too, man. I get
look
juiced
at the hindquarters on this individual.
Yeah. I get juiced on good O-line play, boys. I can't help it. It's
look at that footwork and then
he lives
hand
in
placement.
It's in my DNA. Don't you make fun of me, goddammit. I'll slap you in the mouth.
Yeah, do it, Daddy. So I couldn't be more happy for the Lions.
Yeah.
And there's a video, I believe I sent it to you, Todd, of Tirico calling the Bengals game where they beat the Raiders. And the call went something to the extent of looking for their first playoff win in 31 years, 4th and goal. Carr takes the snap, throws. It's intercepted in Cincinnati. After 31 years, your Bengals have won a playoff game. Have at it. And then it flips to the Lions game, and Jared Goff takes a kneel. Detroit, after 32 years, your Lions have won a playoff game. Have at it. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but as I was watching the Lions win their playoff game, and I see the fans in the stands, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Aaron, I'm sure you can resonate with this from just a few years ago as well.
Yeah.
I'm seeing tears come down people's faces. It took me back. It made me sad a little, like jealous, a little jealous sadness from like not being in that situation right now. There's no way I would have enjoyed a playoff win this year in the first round as much as I ever enjoyed that first one. It won't ever feel that good ever again. I understand that. It's like your first cigarette. It just won't happen.
Ooh.
But right. But I resonate with it, and I loved it, and I've connected with it, and I'm like, they're my team in these playoffs 100%. Like the play of the Bengals, I hope they fucking die, but like right now, go Lions. Like I'm all in on the Lions right now. I want them to win a Super Bowl. 1,000,000%. Yep. So I think if they can continue to maintain the level of consistency, like it's going to be really easy for them to like pull back a little bit, right? Because like how much you need to get up for that one playoff game. But Dan Campbell's the guy. Like Dan Campbell is the guy to keep them at that pace because he's borderline insane. And I think you need a little bit of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so the Lions are going to win, and they're going to go to the NFC Championship game, and that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And I hope the Packers win so that Detroit can host it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone benefited more than the Lions did with how everything went in Week 1. You know, for them to get this home playoff game with the Cowboys losing to the Packers is like a great season long ball don't lie. Like from when the
Decker thing,
or from when the Cowboys beat the Lions, which is great. So like, I'm really happy that Lions fans not only won a home playoff game, but are rewarded with the second one, because I thought for the way that they played all season, they deserved it regardless of how Week 1 went. So I'm happy about that. I think the Lions are the better team. I think a lot of noise was made after the Bucs game about, you know, Baker played really well. I think you could take everything that Corey said about Jordan Love being like, yeah, he made all the throws. He did really good. But guys were just wide open. And I was curious to see if you were to mention that, because I wanted to say keep the same energy, you know, as you had for Love, but you didn't even touch on it, so I can't even say that. But my point being, the Buccaneers were 9-8 in the worst division in football. Okay. Mm-hmm. They played a team spiraling more than any other team coming into the playoffs, and went 1-7 in their last 8, including that playoff loss. Note to anybody in the NFL, if you hear or see on your interview docket, Matt Patricia, burn the building to the ground. Just burn it to the ground. There's no point.
Just set it on fire.
Go ahead.
This is the second time we're doing this for these Eagles, though. I just want to be clear about that. Like, this is the second time we're blaming the defensive coordinator. I just want to put that out there.
You know, they did lose their offensive and defensive coordinator going into this season.
I think the offensive coordinator is the main look at the Colts, right?
No, but that's the point. Is like, I think we were all on the Eagles this season, and they really did start this. You know, they played, you know, really, really well, but they kind of reminded me of the Vikings last year, where it's like, yeah, they're winning these games, but like, I don't see, even when they were winning the games, I was like, something's just not right.
I don't know, man. Like middle of the year, we were just talking about how they're a brick shit house. Like,
you know what though? I recall just being like, hey man, hats off to them for winning these games, but They aren't doing it in the way that I thought. I thought they were going to steamroll their way to the Super Bowl this year with maybe the 49ers stopping. Other than that, I didn't think there was any. Yeah, I mean, there was no other contention, in the NFC, and obviously it's going
Aaron, you got the Lions.
Yeah, and the Lions are the team. I think it would be catastrophic. Something would have to happen for the Lions not to be in the NFC Championship game, and that's a great story for the NFL.
Well, it's kind of on par with the previous 3 picks. Is that I am taking the team that I do not want to win. So I took the Ravens against the Texans. I want the Texans to win. I took the Packers against the 49ers. I want the 49ers to win. And I took the Bucks against the Buccaneers. I'm sorry, I took the Bucks against the Lions because I want the Lions to win.
I just want to point out.
I'm just going completely opposite of what I want to happen. If I go 0 for 3 in those first 3 picks, I am a happy man.
Bobby has officially sprinted a cumulative 24.5 points away from Vegas.
Yes, I have. That's fine. That's fine. I don't care. I'm literally running the opposite direction because
for the record, I think we're seeing 5.5 or 6 on Tampa, Detroit.
I have it at
6.5.
Because I do believe the Texans can beat the Ravens. I do believe the Packers can beat the 49ers. And I do believe the Buccaneers can beat the Lions.
I agree. If they come out flat and just don't execute 100%.
I do believe that all 3 outcomes that I have picked can happen. Will it? That's another question.
So I would take Tampa plus 6.5, by the way, and the over.
Now, the real question is what's going to happen in this last game? Also, am I still auto-tune?
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know how to change that.
Sorry. I just got a text from my wife that just says, "Deer fucking in our front yard. You can watch on Ring." And she wasn't wrong.
Hell yeah.
You know what?
We'll put the clip up later on our OnlyFans.
I'm glad somebody's getting in tonight.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Congratulations to that deer. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, brother.
That's why you get a ring.
Guess what? Yeah.
That's it. What a slogan. Ring.
I mean,
there's some deer.
We should honestly just stop the pod there. Like, hey, you know what? These deer are getting it in.
Yeah, flip it over to Aaron's live.
It's a win for everybody. Let's go ahead and pass it on to ESPN. You guys have a great rest of your night. I'm just kidding. We got the Chiefs and Bills on Monday night, boys.
Sunday night.
Sunday and Monday sound the same.
Well, okay. So this is going to be a fun game. This is Patrick Mahomes' first ever road playoff game.
Yes.
That's so crazy.
Patrick Mahomes, if he wins this game, he will surpass Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, who else? Tom Brady, in playoff wins. He already has 12 in his career, by the way.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And he's still got a long way to go.
Maybe. But I think I'm taking the Bills. I am taking the Bills because while they had a opportunity to let that game slip out of their hands on Monday afternoon, they have been the more consistent, better playing team over the last 2 months. They're at home. I think there is something to say about that. I don't know if Patrick Mahomes has ever played Josh Allen in Buffalo. I know he's played him multiple times in Arrowhead. He enjoys that luxury a lot. He's not going to have that any longer. I didn't see, obviously, the elements being what they were, the Dolphins being what they were. I didn't see a whole lot out of the Chiefs that was like, man, they're back. I didn't get that confidence instilled in me, even though they won, obviously. I expected them to win. I didn't think the Dolphins were that good of a football team on top of the injuries. But I don't see it I don't know. I like Patrick Mahomes is really good, but not this year. I haven't seen it this year. Like the greats, like we talk about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, they make lackluster wide receivers really, really good. I don't get that.
Not right now, Tez. I can't. I can't have babies being made on stream.
I don't know. I'm not going to be a Patrick Mahomes truther here and say he's not the best quarterback in the league, because I have consistently said that he is on this podcast. But I think the Bills are just playing better football as a team. I think they're healthy. I think their defense is playing good, and as long as Stephon Diggs is fully healthy for this game, I think he got a little banged up against the Steelers, if I'm not mistaken. The Bills actually, as a whole, got pretty banged up against the Steelers.
Yeah, they lost. They lost Matt Milano's backup for the rest of the season too.
I don't know. It's just a hunch. It's just a hunch for me. Maybe we see both the Kelsey boys retire after the season, but I'm taking the Bills.
Todd,
what if I told you I think that this game doesn't come down to Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes, but James Cook and Isaiah Pacheco? That's my perspective of this game. I think it is the team that establishes the run game. Yet the run game better is the one that's going to win in the fourth quarter, because I do believe this game will come down to
it's going to be a great football game.
One of the last two possessions of the game, right?
Chiefs win. I'm not surprised, for the record.
Right.
I'm not surprised if the Chiefs win.
So Miami played terrible, right? They played bad. I don't think anybody could argue that they played bad, but Isaiah Pacheco ran like a man possessed in that game. He had no issue getting 4 yards every carry, and that's all you ask for from a running back, is you run for 4 yards 3 times in a row, you're a first down marker, right? It's football. James Cook played very well against Pittsburgh on Monday afternoon. Set up a lot of third and short issues for Josh Allen to just dump it, right? It led to the Dalton Kincaid first touchdown, as James Cook moving them down the field to that way, right? I don't think I'm not bought into that Josh Allen has all of a sudden turned the Bills around. I just think that the play calling's better, fellas. I think that's it. I think Joe Brady calls a better game than Ken Dorsey did. That's it. That's the only thing that's changed in Buffalo, right?
I mean, the record would agree with you.
Yeah. That's it. I'm basing this solely off of statistics. Ken Dorsey gets fired. Joe Brady takes over. They haven't lost, or they've lost once. That's it. And what do they do there? And James Cook is a 1,000-yard rusher. This is the first time in 5 years that a running back is their leading rusher.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That was the whole knock on them the entire time, is like, you can't have Josh Allen be your leading rusher. You got to stop doing it.
Right. And look what's happening. They're playing down the stretch, and now they're playing great defense too. I don't want to knock that from them. I heard Tony Romo sucking Jordan Poyer's dick all over that game on Monday afternoon. It was disgusting. I've never heard someone tout a safety the way that Tony Romo did. But my point being is that I think there's some validity to Corey's point that, like, I don't know if this game comes down to like outstanding quarterback play. I think this just comes down to setting up play action and a couple of big plays, and that's it. That's how the game kind of lapses out. So I'm taking the Bills just based off of they play better football down the stretch. That's it.
Fair enough.
Tez, real quick on Tez's comment, saying Mahomes isn't good this year. He's played fine. His receivers have not. Probably true. I am absolutely biased on Patrick Mahomes because I'm sick of the incessant bitching at the refs. Like, I'm just fucking so tired of Patrick Mahomes crying every fucking week. It's crazy. It's just crazy, dude. I'm done with him. He's such a bitch. He's a little crybaby. Fuck him. Aaron?
Yeah. On that note, so listen, just kind of how I felt about the Eagles coming into the playoffs. Like, the Chiefs, I don't really trust either. I expected them to kind of turn a switch, though, as the playoffs started. And, the Chiefs probably got let off the hook a little bit playing another team that was struggling pretty hard coming into the playoffs, in the Dolphins, and then, of course, the weather that factored into that game. My favorite thing seeing that game was the drinks coming out of the fridges freezing. The fridges were warmer. Like, that's hilarious. That's where you sneak in a little whiskey. You know what I mean? So listen, I don't trust the Bills at all. I think they are one of the hottest teams in the AFC without a doubt. Not named the Ravens coming into the playoffs. I certainly see the path for them to make it to the Super Bowl. And, to Josh Allen's credit, he didn't, throw mass amount of interceptions in that game. And yet there was still a point in that game where I'm like, what are the Bills doing? Why are they not just stepping on the throat and ending this game? And they always want to make it a game. I'm still going to go with the Bills because I don't trust. It's not that I don't trust the Chiefs. I trust Mahomes, obviously. Their defense has been playing very well this year. I cannot trust those receivers. If Pat Mahomes needs to go and have a game-winning drive, I think he can put the ball in the exact right place, and his receivers are going to let him down like they've done time after time after time this year. And the Bills, frankly, are just too hot for me to go against. Them at home. If this game was in Kansas City, I'd probably be feeling a little bit different. I'm gonna give the edge to the home team here. I think Buffalo gets absolutely wild for this game. They can feel it, and they'd be one step closer, to their ultimate goal. And we've said it too. Their window is closing, and we kind of saw peaks of that this year. But as Todd said, they made a smart coaching change in the middle of the year that has kind of saved their season too.
So Todd, you also have the Bills, correct?
See,
we know where Bobby's going.
Yeah, give me the Chiefs.
And that one, absolutely, totally.
I think you better.
What does Vegas say?
It's a push.
3. It's
Or
3.
Yeah. No.
Bills minus 3.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm thinking that the NFL gods just want to repeat Jim Kelly. Nothing in Buffalo will ever happen.
Doesn't have to be this week, then.
And it's just a tease. I think I think the aura of having a Pat Mahomes who already has 2 rings trying to chase a guy like Tom Brady is more alluring than having a guy like Jim Kelly repeat a guy like Josh Allen.
I don't necessarily completely write off that conspiracy, Bob. Like, I think the NFL.
I think the NFL script writers have a thing for Buffalo, and I think that if they want somebody to try to compete with Tom Brady, that Pat Mahomes is the guy.
Yeah, I don't know about having a thing with Buffalo, but I'm definitely there with you on like they want Patrick Mahomes to be the guy, 100%.
And if it was anything last night or last week on having the Steelers play Buffalo and see the way the game was officiated, give me the Chiefs. Give me the Chiefs this week. I will put $100 against all 3 of you on the Chiefs beating Buffalo this week.
Well, let's start with the Whoppers, dude.
Yeah, and the steak.
Yeah, I've already told you guys that I will make you guys steaks and buy you Whoppers.
And yet here I am.
I'm just
Whopperless and steakless.
I'm just saying, Bobby. Unfortunately,
hey, I already told you guys that I would take you on vacation and pay for the Whoppers and make steaks.
Well,
I already said that.
Just walk into the house and there's
I'm
just
shutting one down and going over for 3.
Bobby just has a sign in front of the door that just says "Open me," and it's just Bobby just caressed across the table with a mound of Whoppers
just
and
naked.
fillets.
Naked,
Yeah,
with Whoppers
it's like the
dick.
sushi scene. Yeah. That's what I imagine. Boy, I hope that my birthday's coming up soon. Just think about that.
There you go.
Yep, not even 2 months away.
Yeah, he only turned 33 one time. So
yeah,
I've wholeheartedly adopted the Patton Oswalt birthday thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like 21 celebrate, sure. 25, maybe. 30, big birthday party. 31 to 39, nothing. You just quietly have a nice meal. 40, big birthday party. My sister's turning 29 on Sunday.
Caitlin's turning 29 on Sunday.
That's crazy, right?
That makes me feel 176 years
Women
old.
will never adopt to this philosophy that birthdays don't. Every year, my wife, it's my birthday week, says my wife. What? Your birthday week?
Week?
Yeah, that's not a thing. I always go, it's my birthday year.
Yeah, it's my birthday year.
So it's January 1st. Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. So, birthdays don't matter unless they're big ones.
Oh, this one matters if Bobby shows up in a fucking Whopper suit.
Fair enough.
That is true.
That's a birthday present to remember.
We'll see. All right.
He didn't say
we
no.
got all 4
Forget
games.
he didn't say no. Everyone listening, he did say no.
He said, "We'll see."
Timestamp it.
Todd, you sound much better when you're just absolutely licking that mic. So
yeah, I'd shove this thing down my throat if you're telling the truth. So
I'm just saying it's the absolute truth. Whenever you were like, instead of like down here, you're like right here. It sounded much better.
Yeah, full transparency. I could do better with my setup here. I could get better.
It's all right. Bobby's screaming off of a potato tonight, so
yeah.
Potato. Call that boy Tom.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. Mashed potatoes. Are they just Irish guacamole?
No.
Think about it.
I got to imagine mashed potatoes came first.
Think about it. Not the argument at all. Okay. Okay. I get you. Is guacamole just Mexican mashed potatoes?
Great question. Yes, actually.
Why did they come first? By the way, I want to know that.
I'm just assuming they did.
It's your very
I believe
potatoes. Line of thinking.
I'm going to assume potatoes have been around longer than avocados. If I had to, what?
Why?
Potatoes have.
Not that they've been around longer. They've just been discovered a little bit earlier than
now Bobby's podcasting out of his bathroom.
I'm sorry, Bob. I know you have no idea, and you think we're just ragging on you.
I have no idea.
I can't wait till you listen back to this.
Hold on. Wait a second now, boys. Here's the deal. I'm looking up the origins of potatoes and avocados.
Let's guess here. Have you guys ever played the game Timeline?
I'm just saying, you guys. I sound like I'm like 8 miles away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just like you're having a phone call, like you're.
All right, Todd. I need you to give me a new mic before next week.
Called you while you were taking a shit at work. Like that's what you sound like.
You remember before, like call waiting, or like where you can merge calls, and you're just like, here, you talk to them, and you just put 2 phones together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know that I'm a whore for quality, and I do not like to sound like this.
It's all right.
It's okay. It's one time, brother. One time. All right. Which one came first, the avocado or the potato?
I'm saying avocado.
Well, let me rephrase it. Which one was discovered first, the avocado or the potato?
Well, it's got to be potato because of the Eurocentric line of thinking here. But I'm going to just hold fast. I'm going to go with avocado.
Well, to change your perspective of the Eurocentric, the potato was actually discovered in the country of Bolivia.
Oh, my God.
You fucking racist, Corey.
What? So think about that.
Corey's over here like, oh, potatoes, Europe. All right, dude.
Potato.
We're trying to have this is a classy
I literally said
potatoes
Irish.
are from the Andes. Where the fuck did Ireland?
I'm sticking avocado because they're cooler.
It is technically the potato. The potato was discovered.
That's what they want you to think.
Sure, that's what. Wikipedia does. I mean, I'm using a pretty reputable source.
Thanks a lot, Donald Trump.
Yeah. So 10,000 years ago for potatoes.
What?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 6,000 years ago for an avocado.
I told you.
It's a huge avocado.
Here's the thing.
We've been
that's
running
listening,
off potatoes forever.
Again, you think you're tuning in to listen to sports? But I'll give you a fucking avocado lesson.
Dude. Potatoes were discovered 10,000 years ago.
In the Andes Mountains.
I really wish I could have been there for that. Where he's like,
dude, what?
He's like, I bet we could mash them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Matt? What if we stuck them in an oven and baked them?
What if we did it twice?
Oh. You know, what if we had something and we called it we just cut them in half and threw them in the oven and called it a potato skin.
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing: is that Mexico takes credit for the finding the avocado. It was actually the Guatemalans. Guatemalans
everyone
discovered the avocado. Yeah, I mean, I'm just I'm sharing it with the rest of the world.
What commercials will we see during the Super Bowl?
Avocados from Mexico.
Yeah,
exactly. because they still need to advertise.
Dude, I worked at Kroger for almost 8 years. I heard that commercial every hour on the hour for 8 years.
We have the Idaho Potato Bowl. We do not have the Mexico Avocado Bowl.
There is an avocado bowl now.
Shut the fuck up.
But why not?
It's
Isn't
fair
it
point.
Avocado bowl? How do they miss the opportunity to not just call it guacamole?
Oh.
I don't know.
At
some point
here's
we're going to have to.
Is that Appalachian State and Miami played in the Avocados from Mexico bowl game in Orlando.
Holy shit!
Could have played in Mexico City. There is a full football stadium in Mexico City. Feels like
kind of, yeah.
Well, they played didn't they play the Cardinals 49ers game down there last year? Right? Am I crazy?
At some point, we're going to have to land this plane, and I am getting in a crouch position.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
You guys don't want to stick around for more potato lessons?
I'm down to debate other.
Fuck you, then. I'm done.
Other
foods. This is
foods.
my last episode. It's been really nice getting the opportunity to do this with you all. I'm sorry that you don't appreciate that I'm trying to enrich you.
Stop.
I get that.
I won't stop. I ain't never going to
That
stop.
being said, Todd,
Mushrooms are weird.
you are the leader in the clubhouse.
That would be an episode.
Going into this week of the divisional round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So hats off.
Thanks,
Well
man.
done.
You can leave your hat on. It's okay.
Yeah, we all leave our hat on.
Okie dokie.
But
Cool. All right, let's fucking end the podcast now, I think.
yeah, let's Todd's going in with a 2-game lead over
gonna do it.
myself. And then we have Corey and Aaron bringing it up the what do you call that?
The rear.
Back end, the rear.
Boost.
So a little bit different than what the regular season brought us, but at the end of the day, still a wonderful, wonderful thing to be a part of. For those of you that are still here and listening to the shenanigans that have happened over the last hour and a half, you are saints, and we appreciate you. We will be coming back to you next Wednesday. Next Wednesday was with Super Bowl predictions.
AFC championship or championship predictions.
No,
Yeah, but who's going to be in the Super Bowl?
But who's going to be in the Super Bowl?
Oh. I misheard that. I didn't. My bad.
I mean, I like to think I know kind of what I'm doing.
I just didn't hear you properly. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
21-0.
I'm always misunderstood. It's just 21-0. It's fine. 21-0. It's fine. I didn't even understand myself last week, so it's okay.
Good luck this week. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we're out of it this week, so there will be no bias coming into next week's podcast. So, no, we appreciate everybody coming in. You guys are amazing. The fact that you guys even tune in every week and let us spit our shenanigans and have fun with it, and just let us do our thing. It's great. It's great. We appreciate you.
Definitely.
Appreciate you guys following. We're on pretty much every social media platform that you can imagine. Just make sure that if you haven't tuned in already, please make sure you drop that follow, hit that like, share it with a friend. We love everybody that comes through, and we'll see you guys next week for the championship series, and then Super Bowl predictions.
Yes, sir.
Let's get it.
We'll see you guys then. Peace
All
out. Love you, and we'll see you then.
Spade and neuter your cats.